If you're from the Middle East, you can sling deals. Who cares? Okay, it doesn't matter if your name's Borhan, freaking Kareem, Fedi. I mean, it doesn't matter, right? And I think a lot of people, we always talk about people have their yeah buts. That was, I think, one of yours. I know you were joking, but you were also kind of like, that was something that had held you back, and you were trying to find something to blame it on. They're just gonna think whatever, I'm from here, and they're not gonna answer the phone or my accent or what. Doesn't matter, guys. And if you haven't noticed on these interviews, they're never the same. Like, everybody comes from a different background. Everybody, you're in Canada right now, right? And so I know that's something people have said, oh, I can't close deals from Canada because I have a Canadian number, or I can't close deals in Canada because whatever. And the point is like you said, it's about belief. You have to know that it's gonna happen. But here's what I want to ask you before we dive into this story. You had actually, right before, like, I think the thing is just like I always say, I think people try to do everything they can to avoid picking up the phone. And so this other program was promising you could get deals, but it was like, okay, you don't have to call, you don't have to cold call, you get to do emails and this whole deal and blah, 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 blah. Like, what was the experience there?
So for the first few months, no. I mean, I think it was mainly two things. I think, if I'm gonna be fully honest, I wasn't taking as much action as I knew I should and could be. The other thing is, like, even when I was hopping on closing calls, I wasn't controlling it. I didn't know what I was doing. Sure, I had a bunch of scripts. I still had to put in the reps, and I was sort of impatient with that. And I didn't see results straight away. And I suppose the people who I was with at the time weren't also generating as much. They were generating some results, but not, the same results I'm seeing, for instance, in FFM or elsewhere, Fluffy Mastery. Eventually, after I got my shit together, I got a few deals to put together. When I hopped on a call with you, I wasn't not in a good spot, both financially and mentally. I mean, mentally, I was sort of energetic. I was okay. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be it. But at the same time, it was like, it's been a while since I've got a deal. It's been a while since I had a win. I've had a win in, like, all other domains in my life. Like with my sports wise, athletically, PRs in the gym. I'm getting faster. I'm getting leaner. I'm getting stronger with chicks. I mean, I'm doing better, I suppose. My games are winning. But when it comes to my money, I've always been good with money. Personal finance, it's been my shit. I don't spend too lavishly. I know how to save. I know how to invest. But for some fucking reason, I wasn't getting the cash flow that I knew I could get. I wasn't getting. So I reached out to you and I'm like, yo, what's up? What's happening here? And then we hop. Like, you send me the video, I watch it, and I get a little more information. I'm like, you're like, do you want to hop on a Zoom call? I'm like, let me wait, let me see, because I don't want to keep on committing to something and then not getting enough wins from it and then just investing in another program. And then I'm like, what harm would a Zoom call do? Let's pick this guy's brain. If he has something that can help me get to where I want, we'll do something. If not, whatever. To be honest, when I hopped on a call with you, I'm like, no way, I'm gonna spend another dime on something. And then
Dude, you know what's funny? Hold on. Let's see what you said, bro. You were trying to give me an objection before we even got on the call. Let me go ahead and share this with everybody, because this is going to be a lesson to learn. Okay, let me go back just a little bit. So, you ready for this, dude?
Yeah.
All right. We are not going to be talking specifics, price, or anything like that, because it's changed dramatically. But at the time, you thought that you knew the price and everything. So basically, you're like, hey, this amount is too steep for me, blah, 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 blah. You just had a bunch of bullshit excuses, right? Anyway, I said, let's do a Zoom anyway. Okay.
It wasn't. I wouldn't call it a bullshit excuse. It was me trying to stick with the program that I invested in.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bullshit excuse entirely, but it was an excuse nonetheless. Because I personally, yeah.
Yeah, it's a bullshit program, so it's a bullshit excuse. Just kidding, dude. Okay, so the point I want to bring up is I think sometimes we hear our customers, they give us one little thing, right? It sounds like a good deal, and then the customer says one thing different than you're used to, and it throws you off. And so what you have to realize is, if you know that you can help somebody, and I knew based on your situation, because we talked, that if you got in, you would do extremely well. I could just tell. So that's why I was like, I don't really care. Just jump on the damn phone with me and let's talk. And if it doesn't work out, whatever. So you never want to waste your time with business owners that aren't your look. They're not qualified, but you are qualified. And if you know they're qualified, AKA they're running ads, they're hungry to grow, all these different things, even if they start saying stuff, the truth is, I think the reason you were saying stuff like that is because you knew if you got on the phone, then you might buy. And so just learn a lesson in that. It's I knew you were my look. I knew you were qualified. So I was like, well, let's just get on the phone. And we did. And as you could probably attest, I wasn't forceful. I was just hey, what are you going to do? Here's your goals. If you don't do this, what's your game plan? And it was I don't know. Okay, so what's your credit card number, bro? Let's go. Amex or Visa. Anyway, kind of a side note, but don't spend time with unqualified people. But just because somebody says something because of whatever reason, also be willing to jump on the phone, because a lot of times they are qualified. They're just nervous that they're going to be like, one thing I learned doing door-to-door sales, dude, you know those signs that say no soliciting?
Yeah.
Dude, those are the easiest people to sell. You don't know why? Because they freaking know when somebody knocks on their door, they can't say no. And so all you got to do is knock on the door. You could get the cops called on you, but you just got to be careful. So you just knock on the door, and I would just like pretend I didn't see it. They were the easiest freaking sales. The people that are the hardest to convince to be your customers, a lot of times are your best customers, because they just have to process it.